another. Oh, I started too early. Welcome back, guys, to another episode, another live Friday with Jasmine. I'm your host, Jasmine Bryant, and I am the video coach who's helping you to earn more money in your business so that you can have the time and the freedom that you want and that you deserve. Because look at here, ladies, it is not cute having to ask your boss for permission to spend time with your family, time alone, or just having like a mental health day. So I'm here to help you to leave your 9 to 5 so that you can have all of the freedoms, the travel freedom, the time freedom, the money freedom that you want. And so with that, today we are talking about repurposing. And it's one of my favorite topics. I've talked about this before. And I'll just kind of back up for like a quick second. So I just did a numerology reading chart type thing. I just had this done and it was super, super eye-opening. One of the things that it said about me was that I was born to stand out. And it's something that I truly believe, something that I've always known. And honestly, it's something that for a long time in my life, I downplayed because standing out isn't always comfortable. You, as humans, we tend to want to fit in and kind of go with the flow, and standing out isn't always the best thing. And when you stand out, you can feel judged. You can feel just a lot of different ways that they don't really gel with who you are. And so then you end up playing a little small. And so that's one of the reasons I love helping you guys to figure out who you are on camera, because even if you weren't meant to necessarily stand out, you need to stand out in your business, in your field, in order to have the money and the visibility that you want, that you need to have a thriving business and not have an expensive hobby. And one of the ways that we can all stand out is by being everywhere. And when you're everywhere, because look, social media is a very vast ocean of people. I mean, there are 8 million people on TikTok or something, on Instagram. So in order for us to cut through the noise, we have to be visible, we have to be out there, we have to be different places. And so that's where repurposing really comes into play. And because unless you are really, really loving social media and you're loving content creating, and if you were that gung ho, that hardcore, we wouldn't be having this conversation. You wouldn't need me. You wouldn't need my services. You wouldn't need my help at all because you've already got this. But for the rest of us who are like, I don't want to be a social media content creator 24/7. I want to run my business, whether it's a coaching practice, whether it's a direct sales business, whether it's a brick and mortar. You want to run your business. You want to be a business person, not a social media content creator. So that's where the two worlds kind of collide, because on the one hand, you have the need to be visible, to be everywhere. On the other hand, you have the need and the desire to run your business and not be the visibility person 24/7, be the content creator 24/7. So that's where repurposing is super, super important. And that's why I love it so much, because you can work smarter and not harder. And I don't know about you, I work hard enough in my, day job. I don't want to work as hard. And I don't want to say I don't want to work as hard as in my business as I do with my day job, but I want to work differently because I'm working for myself and I'm working toward a goal, toward freedom. and toward time freedom to travel and to, relax. And whatever your reason is, that's probably where you are too. You want to, you don't want to have, 60 hours of frustration with your business, because then you could just keep it, just stay at your job, right? So when we're repurposing, we're working smarter, we're not working harder. And that's really attractive to me. It's attractive to a lot of people. And one of the ways, well, let me back up. So we want to repurpose and be everywhere, because we might think our followers are watching every single thing that we do, and they're seeing what we post in real time as it happens every time we post. And that is not the case. Think about like your favorite influencer that you follow online. You might not see their post until 5 or 6 days later. So if you're not seeing their posts and you're actively going to look for them, then how do you think your audience is doing with yours? They're not seeing your posts all the time. And the other thing is, when you repurpose, you want to be able to reach people in a different fashion, because not everyone takes in content the same way. Some people prefer to have it to read. Some people prefer a short video. Some people want a long video. Some people are only looking at your stuff in your email newsletter. Some people are only looking at your Instagram. Some only at your TikTok. Some only at your threads. Some only at your YouTube. Some only at your Facebook. Some in your Facebook group. Some in your Facebook personal page. Some in your Facebook business page. So you see, there are a lot of places where people can see your content, and that's why you want to be in all of those places. And when you repurpose your content, you can be, and it's not a big trial. And one of the things that I've decided to do with these lives is, you know, during the day, some of you guys are popping on and you say, hey, you're interactive and I love it so much. But then, a lot of people might be missing the content because of how it's put out. Like, I'm live on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 platforms right now. Right? I'm live on 7 platforms right now. But that doesn't guarantee that there are going to be 7 platforms full of people who need this information. So one of the things that I'm going to be doing is, for some of these lives that need to be really deep and meaty, like repurposing, I can literally talk and answer your questions about repurposing for an hour. And so that's what I'm going to do on Monday, May 20th at noon Eastern. I'm going to pop in a link for you. I'm going to do a live webinar and Q&A just on repurposing. We're going to go deep into how to do it. I mean, I just told you some of the why we do repurposing, but I really want to dig in deep with how to do it. I've done a couple of videos, a couple of lives on repurposing, where I talk about taking like this live broadcast and chopping it up into up to 40 pieces of short form content. And some folks have done it and it's been great. You've had great results with it. And other folks need a little bit more hand holding, a little bit more questions. They just have more questions about how to do it. So I really want to go deep into that. So go to this link and register for the webinar, which is live on Monday, May 20th at noon Eastern. And we can, really just do a deep dive. I can talk today. I really can. We're going to do a deep dive into how to do it, because I can tell you right now, like, when you repurpose, your time gets so free. You have a lot more time in your day, because you're not constantly trying to figure out how to be in all the different places. You're not trying to figure out what to write for your newsletter. You're not trying to figure out what to put in your blog. You're not trying to figure out what your carousel should look like this week. You did one piece of content, just one piece of content, and you've turned it into 100 pieces of content in 1 hour or less. So I really want to be able to teach you all of that and teach you all of that very succinctly and to answer your questions in real time. It's a lot easier for you and for me to hear your questions and to answer them right away, as opposed to, typing it out and hoping you get what it is that I'm trying to say to you. Or if I'm able to show you, how I do things, then that's so, this is a visual medium. Me yapping at you isn't always the answer. Sometimes you need to see, you know, your question and see, like, you need to see your question answered. So I hope you go to the webinar. Come to the webinar on Monday. It's free, noon Eastern. And we're going to just go deep into how to repurpose, because again, when you're visible, you make money. And so I've told you today why we want to repurpose, so that we can be everywhere. People can digest our content the way they need to digest it. And also to give us the freedom to not become 24/7 social media content creators, because unless that is your business, you don't want to do it 24 hours a day. You want to actually work in your business. So let me know what questions come up for you. Let me know if you're coming to the webinar on Monday. Just sign up on the link here. It'll be really exciting. And I really want to be able to answer all of your questions, because, this is so important. This is so important that I want to give you an hour of my time, because I want you to get everything that you need, so that way you can become visible, you can generate more leads, more sales, be all the places, and get that freedom from your 9 to 5 that you want. Because again, like, I was born to stand out. That's according to my numerology charts. And you are born to stand out in your business as well. So that is what I have for you today, my folks. I will see you on Monday at noon Eastern. Click the link. I will talk to you later. Bye.